Way back in the 1970s, I was a college student majoring in English and journalism, and I was in a class called Advanced Narrative Writing. There were only about 10 students in there, all of us interested in becoming writers. And we just basically during the class, we just would share our writing with these students and with the professor and get critiques on what we wrote, good and bad, of course. And near the end of the semester, the professor decided to read us aloud a passage to give us an example of what he considered very good writing. And I still remember this decades later because it was so well written and made a big impact. And that writer was Joyce Carol Oates. And that brings us to today's episode. This is the Kazdoy Closet. I'm Kazdoy. That's my closet full of all the stuff that I love. And today, a film of various firsts. It's the first film based on a Joyce Carol Oates written work. It's a first-time director, and it's the first lead performance from one of my favorite actresses, and I think one of the best actresses working today. Let's check it out. Today's film is Smooth Talk from 1985. This is about a young 15-year-old girl in Northern California who is spending the summer hanging out with her friends, going to the beach, but mainly going to the mall because teenage boys and girls did that back then to hook up, meet each other, and kind of flirt and stuff. And that's what she does until she goes to a more sophisticated hangout place and she gets the eye of a mysterious stranger, and soon enough her innocence is shattered. Now this was directed by a woman, based on a short story by a woman, and it's about a young girl coming of age. But that doesn't mean men can't appreciate it or become engrossed with it, because it certainly worked for me. But as I was watching it and afterwards, I couldn't help but wonder a lot how differently a woman would react and relate to this film. The main character, Connie, is exploring her sexuality. She's practicing her expressions in front of the mirror and even talking to herself like how she would talk to guys. And she's using her body language differently. And actually, when she gets to the mall with her friends, she changes her clothes so that she's wearing something more revealing, like a halter top, something more sexual. And of course, she lies to her parents about where she's going. And in fact, regarding her parents, she and her mother are not getting along too well. Teenage rebellion's part of it. She also feels like, I don't want to have the life that my mom had. And so there's this tension going on between the two of them there. Men in this film are often seen as predators, young and old. I think that's obviously a real thing that women encounter. And she does hook up with a couple of young guys her age in the film, but she is, or maybe a little bit older, but she is not going to go that far. She's still innocent, and she'll make out with them, but when the guys try to go a little bit further, she draws the line. She's not ready for that yet. But even when early on in the film, they're hitchhiking, and an older guy picks them up hitchhiking, and he even's like leering at them. So there's always this tone of that they're being looked at by guys. So she doesn't want to go too far with these young guys. But then later on, a more threatening guy who's kind of like a James Dean type, and Connie has a James Dean poster in her room. He shows up. His name's Arnold Friend because he wants to be your friend. And the last 25 minutes of this film, and it's only 90 minutes long, is basically just the two of them. This guy, Arnold Friend, and Connie. Just the two of them acting and what happens between them. And I am not going to give anything away. No spoilers here at all. Smooth Talk has a wonderful cast. We have Laura Dern playing Connie. She was only 17 when she played this, so pretty age appropriate, which I always appreciate. And this is her first lead role in a film. The next year, Blue Velvet was released, and that's one of my favorite films. And then I think after that, her career just pretty much skyrocketed. She's one of my favorite actresses. I don't think I've ever seen her give a bad performance. And check out that series, Enlightened, that she starred in. There were 2 seasons of that. She's excellent in it, and it's a very funny series, interesting series. This mysterious stranger, Arnold Friend, who shows up, is played by Treat Williams. Now, he was already pretty established. He was in Prince of the City, and Once Upon a Time in America already. He passed away not too long ago, June 2023. Mary Kay Place plays Connie's mom. I remember her from the TV series Mary Hartman, because my friends and I would get together all the time and watch it every night at 11 o'clock because we thought it was hilarious. And she was also in The Big Chill. Levon Helm of The Band, one of my favorite bands, plays the dad, but it's a pretty small role here. And James Taylor was the music director, and his song Handyman is repeated sort of as a motif throughout this film. And I think it's a pretty innocuous song, but by the end, I felt it took on a more ominous, kind of almost poignant role. As I said before, Joyce Chopra, let me say that first, was the director. This is her first feature film. She only directed 2 more feature films. And it's, as I said before, it's based on a short story by Joyce Carol Oates. And she said this was inspired by a true story of a serial killer who preyed on young girls. That's not what this film is, okay? It's not a serial killer film. I'm not giving anything away. But that was the inspiration for it. And the weird thing was that serial killer was sort of protected by the teenagers in that town. So kind of an odd thing there. And this is the first film based on Joyce Carol Oates' writing. I'm going to give Smooth Talk 4 music notes out of 5. It's a slice of life film. It's a small film. And I gave it musical notes because there's a lot of music in it, because teenagers listen to music all the time, of course. And that song Handyman, which is kind of a lie, I think. And young girls are kind of fed some lies, I think, about romance and guys taking care of her. And they just have to kind of be on their guard. So what's on this disc? This is a Criterion disc. I'm trying to showcase some Criterion discs while the sale is still on at Barnes & Noble. And it has a booklet that includes the short story that this was based on. And this cover is pretty awful, I think. It makes it look like a romance or something. I think the cover of the booklet is a little more indicative of what's going on. You see the expression on her face, and that's Treat Williams kind of checking her out there in a kind of a almost threatening way. So I think that's a better cover picture. But anyways, that's what we have. There's a lot of extras on here, discussions with the filmmakers, the writer, and the actors. There's 2 short films by the director. Where can you see Smooth Talk? I don't see it streaming anywhere. Of course, you can buy it. Like I said, it's half off right now, the Barnes & Noble sale, or you can rent it. So feel free to leave a comment or suggestion down below. Leave a thumbs up. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. Share this with your friends and neighbors. We are also on Letterboxd. We're under the Kazdoy Closet. There's a link down below in the notes. And I'm a little distracted because I'm going in for yet another colonoscopy next week. So try not to think about it. So we're on Letterboxd under the Kazdoy Closet. There's a link down below. And we most recently left reviews for Don't Move and The Taking of Deborah Logan. So that's free. What's not free is my ebook is available. It is True Tales from the Teacher Trenches, the ups and downs from 32 years of teaching high school English. You can get it on Amazon.com. It's for your Kindle, or if you don't have a Kindle, you can use the free Kindle app on the device of your choice, and it's going to set you back an enormous $1.99. So, thanks so much for watching. Hope you like this one. See you next time.